They never thought this would happen. Not in Paris. Not in Berlin. Not in Brussels. But the signs are everywhere on the walls, in the chants, across the internet. It started as a whisper. Now it's a roar. Tens of thousands of Europeans are marching not for elections, not against inflation, not over gas prices, but for the name of a man they've never met, a man not born on their soil, Ibrahim Traore. They scream his name like a war cry. His face is printed on flags, worn on t-shirts, painted in murals across the alleys of Lyon and Marseille. He didn't come from Oxford or Harvard. He didn't bend to foreign donors or Western cabinets. He rose from the soil of Burkina Faso, young, defiant, unapologetic. And somehow, that's exactly why the people of Europe are crying out for him. Across France, protesters gather under the Eiffel Tower, holding signs that don't say "Down with Macron," but instead scream "We want Traore." This is not a joke. This is not a meme. This is a revolution of the mind. In Germany, students are organizing forums. Not about capitalism vs socialism. Not about NATO. But about Traore's governance. His rejection of puppetry. His refusal to sell his country's soul. European youths who once idolized Silicon Valley billionaires are now quoting speeches by a 36-year-old African soldier. This isn't just admiration, it's desperation. Europeans are suffocating in political systems that promise change and deliver lies. They see in Traore what they've been denied for decades: integrity without compromise. Courage without apology. Power without corruption. When he expelled the French military from his soil, they cheered in Burkina Faso. But what no one expected was that they would also cheer in France. Imagine that, Europeans celebrating the fall of their own military influence. Because deep down, they know the game. They know how their nations exploit others, and how their own people suffer under the same corrupt elite structures. And when they saw Traore say "no more," something inside them woke up. People who once felt powerless now chant, "If he can do it there, we can do it here." In Belgium, workers are on strike not just for wages but demanding transparency, demanding truth, demanding a Traore-style leadership that serves the people, not the puppeteers. Mainstream media tried to ignore it. But the internet exploded. Thousands of TikToks, Reels, Telegram threads, Twitter spaces flooded with clips of Traore calling out the IMF, calling out the UN, calling out the entire system of global domination. They're watching in silence in elite boardrooms. They don't understand how this happened. They spent billions controlling narratives. But one man with a spine shattered the illusion. European citizens aren't just inspired. They're mobilizing. They're studying how he reorganized the government. How he dealt with corruption. How he faced threats without blinking. This isn't about skin color. It's not about nationality, it's about the fire in a man's chest that refuses to bow. That fire has crossed oceans. He doesn't speak their languages fluently. He doesn't walk their halls of power. But to them, he is already a leader of the free world. Because he lives by one rule: serve the people or step aside. In cafes across Europe, conversations have changed. It's no longer about the next celebrity scandal. It's about sovereignty. About dignity. About the kind of leadership that risks everything to protect its people. And now, thousands are demanding referendums. Some want military reform. Others want their nations out of NATO. But most of all, they want a leader who won't sell them out. They no longer trust the ones in suits. They trust the one in combat boots. Ibrahim Traore has become the symbol of what is possible. The embodiment of strength without tyranny. In countries where democracy has become theater, he reminds them what real leadership looks like. Not controlled. Not staged. But raw. Real. Relentless. In schools, students are writing essays about him. In music festivals, his name is shouted between songs. Politicians pretend not to notice. But they feel the shift. Because every chant for Traore is a scream against them. They're afraid. Because if the European people believe in Traore, they'll stop believing in their own leaders. And when belief dies, power falls. Traore didn't ask for this. He never campaigned in Europe. But his truth crossed borders like wildfire. In Italy, a teacher held a seminar called Traore Tactics: How to Lead Without Selling Out. Over 400 attended. In Spain, activists now close their speeches with, "Be like Traore." This isn't just politics. It's spiritual. The soul of a generation is starving. And they see in him their last shot at honor. And still he is under threat. From the very people who once colonized his land. But the more they try to silence him, the louder the people scream. He is not their president. Not their prime minister. Not their general. But in their hearts, he is already the leader they never had. And that terrifies the world order.